Hello.
Hello, hello. Can y'all hear us okay?
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Awesome. You're all spread out. You should come together. Be
Well,
a family.
I guess we should get this thing kicked off again. All 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 people. Woo!
19.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the second installment of Anime Overload, that anime show. I'm Terri Doty with...
J. Michael Tatum.
And today our guest is the lovely, talented, awesome, terrifying Carli Mosier.
Yay. Hi. Hey.
Hey! Yay!
Hey, guys.
All right. So we did a show earlier with Caitlin, and we got what we needed from her. Then we discarded her. And now we have a new lady.
Yay.
If
We have our
Caitlin's
new
around,
guest.
she's like, it's funny.
So I'm really focused on my like shaved ice right now. It's
I
really
had
good.
to tell them right before the show about the snow cones. That was a horrible idea.
Yeah, that was probably the worst.
No, it wasn't. It was a
All
great idea because they're really, really tasty,
They're really
right?
good.
They're
You know, you haven't-
delicious.
he
He's
gets
right
it.
over there.
It's really, really good. I'm having grape. It's kind of, I know it's a very safe flavor, but it's good grape, right?
Yeah.
Can I try a bit of yours? I want to try some of yours.
Oh, my goodness.
It's so good. I'm
what
having
did you
dream.
get?
I got Dreamsicle. Awesome. It's the best.
Who was here for the show earlier? Woo! Okay, so
All
for
right.
those of you who weren't here,
It's good, right?
we're very random, and sometimes we'll talk about anime. All right.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I guess little backstory for those of you who didn't catch the earlier show. Tatum and I decided to start doing a podcast, kind of an insider's look of the dubbing industry. And, well, it's kind of taken off, and now we can't stop doing the show. And now they're inviting us to cons, so I hope you guys like it. And if you do, you can look us up. Just Google us or whatever search engine you prefer, and you'll find us. And, yeah.
Yes, and let me make a quick note. I mentioned this in our earlier panel, but...
I'll always forget that note,
Because
yeah.
this is live, and, it's a room full of people of varying age groups, we're playing this one a little cleaner, a little family-friendlier than
Ma'am.
sometimes we do in our normal podcast. So, if you like this... Oh, you're all so good. You're like, oh...
I'm really disappointed because
Yeah, right. Well, catch us out there and we'll totally cuss to your heart's content. But...
Yeah.
What?
I don't know.
But
Well-
anyway, the podcasts that we do that we have online available for download, and there's 21 of them now, yes?
There are 21 episodes.
Wow.
After today, there will be 23. And we also have these for sale. They are that anime show stickers with anime, me, and Tatum. And they are $2. So you can do that, and it will be awesome.
Yes.
All right, enough of this shtick. So,
Wait, I was going to tell
enough
them.
of the logo shtick.
Yeah. The podcasts are free to download, of course, and we do it once a week. And,
the most part,
For the most
yeah.
part, there are some weekends where we don't because, life gets in the way. And we've had all kinds of awesome guests on, everyone from Aaron Dismuke to Brian Massey, for those of you who know who that is, from Bacano. We've had,
Cynthia Kranz.
We've had, Brina
Brina
Palencia has been
Palencia,
on.
Monica Real.
And because we're in a very comfortable setting, in the comfort of our own personal studio, we tend to get a little raunchy. A little too comfortable at times. So they're very, very funny,
Yeah.
but just be aware of that if you're listening to them with parents or grandparents around, you may want to not listen to them.
Well, if
we
this
tend
is
to
your
get
first
rather-
time, if this is your first time hearing it, and then you listen to the show, they're like, "Wow, they were really holding back on cussing during the live performance."
Yeah. We tend to be rather adult. But without being, we're lewd. No, I'll just say it. We're lewd. But, we discuss important topics, but we just do so with
Very important.
much fouler. There's language involved. So be aware of that if you go to download the podcast, and I urge you to, because there are some really, really funny interviews with some really, really awesome people. So please, they deserve to be heard. We think so anyway.
Yes,
And,
definitely.
yeah.
All right. Well, Carli,
Hi.
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 We did a round or a rectangular table earlier.
Just much like this one right here.
Very, very similar.
Very similar.
Ooh, ah. So let me see. We have a few questions for you, but we'll also be taking questions from the audience as well. So you can shout those to your heart's content, as long as they're not like, "What color's your bra?" Blah blah blah. I'm good.
Pink. Mine's pink.
Hot
today.
pink. Hot pink, right?
Hot pink. Of
Woo.
course.
You don't want to
It
look
says,
slutty.
I do not wear a bra, please. I do not have moobs.
Oh, don't lie.
Oh my God! Did you hear? Tatum wears a bra.
I do not have a... Oh, how do these things get started? Oh, yeah.
He also
me.
has a bustier.
So, I'm going to have another bite of my tasty grape shaved ice. Shaved ice.
Which is available right over there.
And the guy that sells them, really honest. Tatum wanted to get cookie dough. He's like, no.
You don't wanna do
You
that.
don't want to do that.
Yeah, seriously, no, you don't want cookie dough.
No.
Your face says cookie dough, your heart doesn't say cookie dough. You want grape. I was like, I'll get grape.
So
And I'm
is
very glad I
everyone-
did.
Cookie dough, not
Cookie dough,
good.
not bad, but I wouldn't have wanted the whole thing of it. It's way too
Yeah.
sweet.
Is
So-
everyone from Austin around here? Woo!
Yeah.
Wow.
Ken just pops in an or. Woo! I love that.
How many of you are like from... How many of you are more than 2 hours away?
Brave.
Wow.
Where are you from?
Houston?
Houston?
Sweet.
Woo, that's where I'm
She's
from.
Houston.
That's the city that gave birth to her.
Yay.
I've been
I'm
there
so
a few
glad
times.
you guys made it.
It's all right.
It's all right. It's a nice little town. It's a nice little quaint little village.
It's a huge, disgusting suburban
Suburban sprawl.
suburban sprawl with urban decay right in the middle. No, I actually love Houston. I love being from Texas. I am a huge fan of Austin, though.
Yes.
I
Me too.
am ridiculously excited to be here.
Austin's where it's
Just
at.
the drive from here to the hotel. I was like, oh my gosh, how nice is this? Hills and trees and nature. It's lovely. It's such a happy place to be. I love it.
You know, we came from like the Dallas area last night.
Yeah.
That was not a fun drive because
Well, being that the rain had oil in it, yay!
it was
everyone
nice.
goes, yeah. But yeah, that was
And you
fun.
get to a dry spot in the road, and some jerk with a truck decides to pull around you. And I mean, like a jerk with a huge truck. You're like, you're not hauling anything. There's no reason for you to have that truck. And they race around you, and they have the tires that I like to call the FU tires because they're made for you. Everyone else on the road can suck it because they're like, oh, by the way, red, and it might as well be thunderstorming on your windshield. And you're like, oh, thank you. So that was our drive up. Bitch, wine, piss, moan.
Yeah.
But we had fun. I mean, once we got to Austin, it was like, yay, dry stars. But it was not, the weather did not want us to be here on time. No. So we're glad to have gotten here in one piece.
Yes.
So tell us, okay, so Carly.
Yes.
Focusing it back on you since
Oh,
you're our
no.
lovely,
It's all
lovely
about you,
guest.
my dear.
It's never
And we
good.
love you. We love
never
you.
good.
We love you like,
Like lovable things, love things of love.
we love you like water loves chocolate. There, that's a good one.
There
How's
you
that?
go.
That's very romantic. There's a movie.
Like water for chocolate,
Yeah.
which makes no sense to me.
Well, when
Water-
they melt chocolate, they use water. And it has to be boiling.
Oh, I guess that's true.
So the water's hot.
For the double boiler. I don't know.
So, okay, tell us, for starters, before we get into the questions we've got,
Yeah.
tell us some of your more
Both of them.
notable voice acting roles.
Oh yeah. Okay, so my my
I
most
brought notes.
recent
Do you wanna
big
hold your
thing is that I voiced Daisy, the female Spartan, in Halo Legends. So that's like a really big thing. And for all of the people that I know that are not anime fans, it's the one thing I've done where people are like, what? I know Halo. I totally know that. Oh my God. And then today at my last panel, a fan gave me, I think he's actually the Master Chief, but he looked kind of like my guy, my little character, my awesome female Spartan coolness. So I've been Halo Legends Homecoming. That's the episode that I'm in. I played Daisy, the female Spartan. I play her as a little girl, as a clone, as a young lady, and as a grown-up soldier. It was very good. She doesn't want to stand. And that's pretty much how she dies, too.
I don't like Daisy.
Poor thing.
I've also done...
Put it next to your bra.
What's... I've done a couple of things that I really can't talk about that are really exciting coming up. So be on the lookout for me and some new stuff. Yes. Dreamsicle Spartan.
Halo style.
that cup's too big for you.
I don't care. I'm a soldier. So I've Naramadaikon Brothers. I am Yukika in Naramadaikon Brothers. It's a musical episodic anime, kind of based on the Blues Brothers. Really fun, really wacky, crazy, awesome, and I sing in it, so that's cool. I've been in Magicano. I've been in Venus versus Virus. I've been in Evangelion.
Evangelion.
Yeah, there's a bunch of other stuff, but those are probably the more notable titles that I've been in. Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
Nothing like, you guys and your awesomeness.
Well, that's
but,
true.
Well, I do have a
Everybody knows
Wikipedia
me.
page.
No, Carly, I think you're the giraffe's necktie. Seriously,
Long and
tired of
skinny.
this cat's pajamas, giraffe's necktie.
Cat's
Spread it
pajamas.
around.
What about the bee's knees? I like that one.
Boo, dead to me.
The bee's knees. I never understood that one.
What?
What?
What is that?
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't know.
You wanted the
why
bee's
did they
knees.
ever
I'm bringing
say
it back.
You're
I'm making
bringing
it.
back?
Yeah,
The
we're
bee's
gonna make it
knees?
hip again. The bee's knees.
Well,
It
she said
rhymes.
something-
Retro.
Huh?
It rhymes.
The bee's knees.
The cat's pajamas don't
Bee's
rhyme.
knees.
Giraffe
It sounds like
necktie.
Well, so does the Bee Gees. I don't know.
The Bee
Start
Gees.
making up new ones. You are totally that. I think you're cool.
What?
You're
the zebra stripes.
Zebra stripes.
That's good. You're an old person's hip.
breakable.
We go with that too.
Does that mean you're
Well, that's
broken?
everybody's
and-
in my head.
easily broken,
God,
easily
I breathe
shattered.
on it, it breaks. Jesus.
What's up, woo girl? Woo! You gotta
Hi.
go. Woo!
She's back
Thank you.
again.
Tylee.
Woo! That's all I'm gonna do for everything. It's like, hey Terry, how you doing? Woo! You have 3 months to live. Woo!
You're being evicted. Woo! Like,
I'm
it's
leaving
good.
you.
It's good to have a positive outlook on life. It's good.
We
It's
can
very
immediately
good.
go to the negative.
We tend to be. No, we're not negative at all.
I'm not negative.
Okay, maybe a little bit sometimes.
Listen
You'll
to the other
understand when
shows,
you're
you'll
older.
understand why that's funny.
We need to do like an
Carly.
after hours podcast, like later.
We're
totally
actually
should.
thinking
We
about
should
having
totally-
like, the gin and tonic episode where it's like, hey. So because then it can turn into like, there was never another That Anime show because turns out they're not good drunks.
we fight. And we
The
start
mics
hitting
are
each
still
other.
on. The mics are still on.
You shut up. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. This mic is perfect. Everything, yeah.
You know
Any
what's
piece
wrong
of
with you?
dialogue that starts with, you know what your problem is? It's not going to end well.
No. Usually it's like, okay, I just want to tell you, no offense. And you're like, okay, so I'm immediately going to get offended by this no offense comment.
Or
no
everything
offense,
that ends
but
with,
you
"I'm
just
just
look
saying."
terrible. Yeah.
I'm just saying. Yeah, thank you. I know you're just saying.
Again, I want to shout out to the guy with the camera back there, Joshua. Woo! Everyone say hi, Joshua.
He's the best.
He's stealing
And
all of
our
your
sound
souls.
guy, both front of house over there being awesome. And that guy over there being awesome as well. Awesome things have happened.
Steven.
He's overrated.
Yeah,
Aw.
he's hiding.
No,
I
we
think
love him.
he's
We love him
nice.
mostly because he frightens me.
I like that he makes awkward, weird comments late at night.
What?
I like that he makes awkward, weird comments when we're
Do you
driving around
remember,
Austin late at night.
Steven is a very quiet person. This one over here. He's very, very quiet, but he's also known for breaking into the middle of a conversation with the most disturbing non sequiturs you can imagine, none of which are repeatable, unfortunately. He's the
Yeah.
only person in the world allowed to say them, and he'll be quiet for 3-4 hours on a stretch and suddenly just come in and say, and, if you were there, you would see a black bar, go in front of his mouth as he's like, hey, guess what? And you're like, oh, what did you just say? And the room just stops. We call him the derailer.
Or that was a really fun one when Carly and I took over his Facebook profile because he was like, what are some names for boobs? And we're like, yabos, yonkers.
Oh my God.
I think it
It's-
went on
Yes.
forever, our little
It
thread.
spun out of control
And it
very,
was just
very
me,
quickly.
but it was just
funny
me
when
and Terry,
someone-
pretty much, like girls. We're like, oh, we know
Barnes
the
and
names for
Noble,
boobs.
Albert. I almost said Albert and Costello. Abbott. But
Cagney and
it's really
Lacey.
funny whenever you take over someone's Facebook and they get back on and say, please stop replying. It's really funny. Facebook. It's a social network.
Facebook eludes me. I try not to get on very
You
often
love
anymore.
Facebook.
I do, but it's
Book
like
face.
Facebook. It's crazy. Like it takes over your whole life.
Yeah, it does.
What?
Too many
Yeah.
rabbit
you can never have
fangirls.
too many rabbit fangirls.
He's got the problem,
I
man.
love the rabbit fangirls. I love them. Can I say I prefer them on Facebook than I would like on my porch.
Oh my God,
So-
J. Michael Tatum. Oh.
I'd be like, how are you even here? I have to move. I need to mow my yard. God. At least that's not so much a problem on Facebook, really. But I have my other friends on Facebook like, we're not going to be your friends anymore because every time somebody posts something, we get like
You're
1,000
this close.
messages. I'm like, I'm sorry.
No, I love this. Like, J. Michael Tatum is now friends with blah, 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 and 108 other people. Okay.
It makes me feel like such a diva. I'm like, yes, that's right. But Facebook is fun. It's a very good tool. I've found like old friends I haven't seen
That's-
since high school.
that's
and
really
that's kind of
nice. I like
that's
that
kind of
part
a
about
mixed
it.
bag though, because some of them they're like, oh, that's right, I hated you. I've forgotten what a douche you were. Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, now they're like, so what do you do? I'm like, I work in anime. They're like, oh, that sounds fun. What do you do? They're like, I work at Barnes & Noble. I will take this book, by the way.
It's always very satisfying. Then they're like,
If you work at
oh,
Barnes
what
&
do you
Noble,
do?
awesome. Please.
Well, you're all at the right age.
Yeah.
You work at a Barnes & Noble and you're like in your 30s or 40s
like,
and you're not a
cool.
manager.
Yeah. Not good.
Well, you've probably made some decisions in your life that you want to go back and re-examine. That's all I'm going to say. And I only say that because I worked for Barnes & Noble far too long. And I was like, I had
Experience.
to take a long, hard look at myself and go, you know, those twistings and turnings you go back and you look at thinking, I really should have taken that fork in the road.
Starting to
and
get
I
all
didn't.
like Pepperidge Farm guy on me. Remember when?
Pepperidge
all that
Farm
stuff?
remembers.
Oh,
So,
man.
okay.
All right.
Do you have, let's get to some questions.
Oh, right. Well, we
This
have
is
a
how
couple
random
of
we are.
email questions, and we will be taking questions this time from you guys if you
Yes.
want,
I'll come
to
down
talk
to you
us.
and we'll sit and we'll confer.
Yes. Instead of just like, that was a really interesting question. Let me see. This is from Courtney G. First of all, she says, I'm so happy that you're having Carly on. I'm happy too. I was wondering how she got started doing stage combat workshops at anime cons with Chris Ayers.
Okay, so for some of y'all that don't know, because I'm not doing it at this convention because the space doesn't really lend itself to what I do, I, along with Christopher Ayers, another voice actor and ADR director, he and I...
People are really cool for doing that.
he and I, we teach stage combat, and actually the panel is called Mock Combat for Cosplay, and it's basically to teach cosplayers how to fight realistically and safely so that their skits for their competitions and all that stuff look real and are safe at the same time and have a really theatrical quality to them. I started... I guess my first combat experience was when I was in high school. I went to an arts high school, and so half of my day was theater every day, and one of my classes was combat, and I had a great teacher who we actually just honored on Good Morning America.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
I had her, and she was really physical, and she got me started enjoying combat, although I had not really done anything beyond class. And then my first play outside of school was, just when I started college, I had met Chris Ayers in college. We were taking the same musical theater class, and he was a director and I was an actor, and he had asked me to audition for a show that he was doing, and it was a show called Runaways, and it's about a bunch of young people and their trials as homeless teens on the street. Really powerful stuff. In that show, I don't know if I can say all of this, but I got chased down, attacked, and brutalized sexually, or the attempt to, and it was very forceful and very aggressive and very scary, and every night after we set that fight, somebody would leave, like after my scene, because I was like screaming and, you know, this guy's beating me up, and it made people so uncomfortable that they would have to leave. And I thought, I love this. This is awesome. I want to make everybody feel like this and get up and walk out. That's awesome.
I want to make
so
everyone
cool.
uncomfortable.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I guess that's a big part of theater, is making them feel something. And if they felt powerful enough to leave, I thought that was a pretty cool thing. So from then on, I started working with Chris, and I've been doing combat with him since then. And I was 18, and I'm
Not
20
18.
now.
Not 18.
No, I'm 32 now, so that's been. I'm 14 years.
She's
Thank
sweet.
you. Yeah,
like, you're
my 74-year-old dad would say,
Catty
"Yeah,
answer,
she's so young."
she's
so.
sweet.
No, I meant it. I'm like, oh, she's sweet. I didn't mean it like that. I was more like, oh, you're sweet. I'm sorry. It comes out like, oh, she's sweet. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, my dad's 74, so I'm still young. I have no qualms about that.
And can I just say, on the subject of these mock combat workshops that she and Chris Ayers do at several cons,
Awesome.
I've had the great pleasure of seeing them several times myself in action, and they are absolutely astounding. If you find yourself at a convention, oh no, none of it. It's absolutely wonderful. I mean, it's great. Chris and Carly do this thing, and they'll do it in stages. So the first workshop is for everybody or who was interested.
Yes.
And the second one is for more advanced people that got through the first class and are interested in taking it another level. And it kind of progresses throughout the con, and it's really amazing. Every time you go, it's doesn't Chris, who is one of my favorite human beings in the world, he loves to
him.
say that. It's not a successful workshop unless security busts in thinking they're breaking
Yeah.
up a real fight.
Yeah, because
And-
by the end we all have them do their little fights that we've set and scream their heads off all at the same time, so it looks like a big brawl is happening in the middle of the floor. And
Yeah, and it's pretty.
Actually, I walked
amazing.
in on, like, that's how, the first time I met you, you were doing a mock combat, and he pretended to slap you, and you went, no, like that, and some guy goes, dang! Or like, it's mock read the door, man.
it was fake.
Dang!
So yeah, it's
really
really fun, and it's a great way to stay in shape and keep creative physically. And I don't know, I just have a lot of fun doing it. I like looking like I'm either being beaten or beating someone up. It may be a sickness
Will you-
somewhere
will you
inside
flex
of
your
me.
arm? Flex your arm for
yeah.
us. Look at these guns. Look at this.
Dang!
I mean, ow, it actually hurts me to do this
Yeah.
to her. I'm like,
Whatever,
ow.
you know.
It's pretty amazing, right?
I got guns. Whatever.
She's got guns. It's like, pardon me, do you have a needle and thread? No, too bad. Because I'm ribs. It's
Yeah,
totally
as
her.
long as I don't look like one of those like steroidy weightlifter ladies. Those are the scariest
You don't want to look like
ladies.
Arnold Schwarzenegger in a wig.
That's just the scariest thing I've ever seen. Like all greasy
My
and
name's
tan.
Morph,
And,
Do you want to go on a date?
it's like they stuffed like big rump roasts or something under their.
They're pretty. It's
their
like, wow,
arms.
you
Oh
have an
my
extra
goodness.
chest on
Yeah.
your shoulders.
Oh yeah, I saw a woman like that. I just saw a picture, and this woman looked like she had
Log's
like
a really
3
good place to see all that.
boobs because she had so many. She had so much muscles from being so ripped, and
Aren't you from heavy metal? Yeah, or something like that.
It looked like she was an alien because it was like, and then boobs.
Like the abs just go all the way up.
Yeah, pretty much.
The abs don't stop?
Yeah, it was really scary.
That's weird.
No, it's no.
So stage combat's a great way. How many people here are into that or have done stage combat
Or
stuff?
like
Stage
you like
combat.
So you-
MMA or wrestling,
Yay.
or even if you just like to
Awesome.
watch
Yay.
it. That's
Yeah.
kind of
You
the
can just
thing.
raise your hand, I'll say yay, whatever. Yay.
It's
yay.
awesome. It's a lot
Yay,
of fun.
yay.
So again, if you ever happen to find
Yay.
yourself at an anime
Or
convention
yay.
where Carly and Chris are doing the mock combat workshop, get to it because it is awesome. It really is one of a
Our
kind.
next one in Texas is going to be at YuleCon
In
in November in where is it? It's in Dallas area, but
Yeah,
it's not.
in Fort Worth.
It's
Is it
in yeah.
Fort Worth. Okay, yeah.
Somewhere like
So
that.
The
It's
American
not that far.
Airlines Training
If y'all want to
Center.
come, y'all should come. It's
Am I
fun.
right?
It's a
I don't-
really
I
good
might be
con.
wrong. Whatever. But yeah.
So
I
yeah,
believe
that's how
I'll
I
be
got
there
started.
too,
It was good.
watching Carly get hit or pretend to get hit.
Yay!
A lot.
It's my
I
favorite.
love Chris Ayers. Chris Ayers is great. First time I met him, actually, he's like, "You're Terri Doty. You had a zombie wedding. I love you." I'm like, "I love you too. Who are you?"
He's awesome. He makes the best like mean guy faces when he's beating me up. He's like,
I love Chris.
I love people
I'd
that
say the
cosplay
first time I
as
ever
him.
met him, I knew his voice because he was in Speedgrapher, and so I knew him, and I was terrified of him before I met him because I only knew his voice, and his voice can be very frightening and commanding and very evil if it wants to be, and so I was expecting me to meet like a 6'5", muscular guy who would like kill me, and he's not. He's the cutest little thing.
He's awesome.
I could put him in my pocket. Right? But that voice, I mean, he is like, that voice is unbelievable.
Not messing
And he's
around.
really like one of the most remarkable people I've ever met. And when I got to meet him for the very first time in person, we were at a convention somewhere in Houston. I can't remember now. I think the con's long defunct, but it's about 6 years ago now. And he wanted to meet me because he knew I was there. And so he told Chris Bevins to like get us together. And he was like, I just want to tell you, you are amazing. I love you. And I'm like, really?
Isn't he the best?
Because when you
He's
hear
just
that from someone that
And then he
sounds
goes,
as
"Who are
awesome
you?"
and as talented
Oh,
as
never
Chris
mind.
Ayers,
I was waiting for somebody.
it's like getting drunk dialed by God in the middle of church. I mean, it really is. You're
in
like,
the middle of church.
okay, I better keep this to myself.
He's
But that's
so-
totally what it's like. He's really the sweetest guy in the world. And this gentleman here, of course, who's taking the video of us now, he gets like tons and tons and tons of these awesome pictures of these workshops that are awesome. I mean, you've seen them, right?
yeah.
Where they're like,
Oh,
it's action shots, but like, wow, it really does look like someone's getting their lunch.
Yeah, there's
eaten.
one
It's
picture
great.
that Joshua took where he's like slapping me or something. It's in the middle of the air, and I was like, that's the best shot ever. I look like I am about to hit the floor. Yes. It's awesome. Yeah, Chris is just the best. He's like a brother to me. I mean, we've known each other now for so long. Chris and Greg are both like brothers to me. They're the big reason I got into this industry. They're just good, really good people. Really good guys. I like
agree.
them.
I
Very
agree.
talented, also.
Yeah.
And stuff.
I suppose.
Yeah. I heard, Speedgrapher's been playing on, I don't know if it's like IFC or Sundance lately.
I think it's, it's
and so
one of
I
the two.
had the
Has anyone
channel
seen
on, and I was
Speedgrapher?
kind of.
Anyone?
Oh, we have a couple
Woo.
Speedgrapher fans. Nice.
And-
So, well,
Are you old enough?
She's
Okay.
old enough.
so
So,
I'm.
did you get it for your birthday or something? That's kind of a weird present. Happy birthday, Speedgrapher. Yeah.
You're old enough now.
That was actually something. They're like, yeah, no, my mom got me Rin, Daughters of Namaste. I'm like, did you watch it with her? They're like, yeah.
It was awkward.
It's like, oh.
Yeah, I was doing laundry and the TV was on, and I guess Speedgrapher was coming on next, and I didn't know because I hadn't touched television, and all of a sudden I hear Chris's voice, and I was like, oh my God.
Carli,
and it
come to the
freaked me
television.
out, and because I hadn't seen Speedgrapher in quite some time, and I walked over and I was like, oh my God, awesome. It's on my movie channels.
Yay. I still haven't seen it. I need to see it.
It's good.
It's an awesome show, but you should totally not be under the age of 18 if you're going to watch it.
No.
Because it is not for people under the age of 18. It is a very, very, very mature subject matter show. But it's very good, and it's a great dub, I think, in my opinion. It was one of my first shows, too.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Second thing I ever did. Very
Wow.
second thing.
The very second thing.
Very second thing. We were done with the first role I ever had, and like in the same
barely.
day, I had to go from playing this really, really sweet guy in the last episode of a show we'd spent a year recording, and I was very emotional. He's like, all right, now we're going to play this complete jerk who in his first scene breaks a little girl's arm because she can't dance right, and he's like her instructor. He's like, you're doing it wrong, and cracks her arm like it's nothing. And that I'm like, wow, this is acting. Ha! Yay!
Your
Yeah.
choice.
Crazy show. So you brought up Chris is a big reason how you got into the industry
Yeah.
as a whole. Tell that story. I'd like to hear that one. How did you find your way?
Okay,
into this
well, it all starts
crazy
with
little
Chris
business?
Patton, really, if you want to think about it. I did theater when I was very little, and Chris Patton was in a bunch of musicals with me, and at a theater called Hits. So we did a lot of children's shows, and I lost touch with Chris for several years. And then when I went to college and did the musical theater program, one of the first people I saw was Chris Patton, which was cool. He looked completely different than he did when we were younger. And then I met Chris Ayers. And I did that show that I was talking about, Runaways. And Chris Patton was in it, and Greg was in it, and Monica Rial was in it, and Chris Ayers directed it. And there's a couple of other actors, voice actors that were in it. Alison Summerall was in it. There's a couple other people. And we kind of all started doing theater together and going from show to show to show to show. And a lot of us would be in the same show together. And during this time, Monica and Greg and Patton had all kind of gotten to where they were working at ADV in Houston. And we were doing some show, and they were talking all about what they'd been doing and how they'd been recording and telling me all about it. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And they're like, you should do it. You should totally audition. They have open calls. You should do it. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know anything about recording.
It's easy to psych yourself out, isn't it?
It's when you don't know what you're doing, and people are like, oh, you should do it. And you're like, I don't know about that. I don't know anything about anything. And while I love music, I've never really recorded in a booth or anything like that, and I know nothing. But I sucked it up after they kept after me, and I went ahead and put my name on a list, and it took like a year for anybody to call me, and then they said, come in, we don't have anything really for you to audition for. We just want you to like read off a script and talk your normal voice. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I guess. Whatever. And so I went in and I auditioned for someone, a director that I haven't worked with for a while, but and it was great, and it was fine, and I was in and out of there in like 10 minutes, and it's like, oh, I must have been horrible because I was there for 10 minutes. Like, he literally was like, have a seat, wait there, bring me in, here's what I want you to do. 3 minutes later, okay, have a good one. And that was kind of it. And I thought, oh, so I'm not good at this at all. Great. Okay. And I didn't get a call for a really long time. And I kept they were like, so how'd it go? And I was like, terrible, awful. And they're like, oh, that's nothing. That's exactly how it's supposed to go. It'll be fine. And nobody called me, and nobody called me, and nobody called me. And we'd go and rehearse for shows, and I'd be all sad. And they'd say, why are you sad? Because ADV hasn't called me, and I'm just really awful. And yeah, just the fragile ego of an actor. And then I kind of forgot about it, and I was like, oh, well, it's not a big deal. Nobody's going to call me. And then I got a call to play a bird doctor in Loki Ragnarok. And I was like, okay, yeah, cool, I'll come in. Cool, I get to record for an hour. And that's how it started. And I just started getting little parts. And then my big break came when a girl wasn't doing her job and wasn't showing up to work. And they needed to replace her. And I replaced her. And
Yay.
I was like, yay. And then I started getting...
Thank you, person who didn't show up to work.
Yeah, and then
I've said that many times.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, person who couldn't do this job. Now
So-
I get to do it.
And then I just kept showing up and kept working and little by little making big waves. And then Chris Ayers gave me my break with Narama Daikon Brother doing something that was different. And it was the largest role I had done at that point. So this is a big tribute to him that I've progressed, even though he'll say, oh, that's not true. It's all you. You're a wonderful actress. You're so wonderful, Carly. You sell yourself short. He tells me that all the time. He's so nice.
He's
the nicest.
honest.
Well, yeah.
I'm
Carly. I have to be...
It's a horrible impression.
I know, it's terrible. This is why I don't get
You're a
female
terrible
roles.
voice actor.
This is why I don't get... I am terrible. Lies. Thank you for saying that. You're very nice.
Oh, we were having
you
a
moved.
Tatum Love Fest in our
like,
panel.
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
You're
Whoa,
playing tricks on
no.
me.
We were having a Tatum Love Fest in our panel. Like, we were
Yeah.
just like, oh, we just love Tatum. He's so awesome to learn from.
We
and
were.
look-
We were talking a lot
oh,
about
he's
you.
so great, yeah.
But
And
then
then-
kind of like,
Stop
I
it.
don't hang out with
No, go
But
on.
then we were like getting kind of awkward. We were like, I don't know if we should be talking about how awesome Tatum is. It's our panel. Why are we talking about Tatum?
I told you
Can't help
that
it.
I saw they've got ads for Rin, the Blu-ray.
yeah.
Here. Has anyone who's seen Rin, Daughters of Namasane? Anyone?
Awesome. You heard of it. You heard of it.
Woo! See it? Well, if you're
Well, you're
of
18
age.
now. You can.
Yes.
You can.
Yeah.
Terri and I worked on it together as directors, and I'm
both
very,
in it,
very proud
too.
of our work, but it's a good show. It's very out there, and it's very, again, mature themed. But if you like dark, solid, sort of supernatural thrillers, it's definitely one to watch out for.
Colleen Klinkenbeard, Todd Haberkorn, Jamie Markey. You can't go wrong.
Solid cast. Solid cast. But, so getting back to you and your luscious dreamsicle.
Snow ice.
I keep wanting to call it a dream catcher, and I'm like, that doesn't sound like it would taste good at
We
all.
could do this all day.
But, so, okay. In my experience as a director in the dubbing industry,
Yes.
which is a very, very specific kind of acting, and it's not one that people tend to, well, not everyone makes that transition. I mean, it's usually the sort of industry you get into having done other sorts of acting, like stage or film or whatever, or other voiceover work, and you find your way into dubbing because that's as an actor you go where the work is. But a lot of people I've noticed in my experience sitting in the director's chair have a really difficult time making the transition from being, say, primarily stage and screen actors to coming to doing something as not alien's not the word, but perhaps alien to their experience of voice acting and trying to make it sound as organic as they can on stage. How did you find the process to be? I mean, what was it like making that transition for you? Everyone's story is a little different, but
Well, I think every stage actor, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just a weirdo, but I have a real problem over enunciating things, or under enunciating when I'm in my personal everyday life. I'll just kind of mumble something, and so finding a nice balance between those two is a big deal. You have to be able to enunciate without being fake, and you still have to sound real enough to be organic and have your flow, but not sound, not be muffled or muttering or whatever. It was a learned thing, definitely, for me. It seems like it's so weird with the flaps because it's not American cartoons, so it's totally rewritten.
What?
I know. I just ruined everything for you, Terri
what are you
Doty.
talking about?
I am so sorry. But since they rewrite the translation to fit mouth flaps and all that stuff, and there's a lot that goes into it. The very first time they're like, okay, so you're gonna have to match the flaps, and I'm only by the grace of having Chris, Greg, Patton, and Monica around me that I knew they're like, okay, they're gonna tell you this, and that's what this means, and I was like, oh, okay. Mouth flaps. Okay, got it. And I was like, okay, so if you see this direction, like M&S, it's mouth not seen. Like, I felt like a child being taught like little code.
Well, it's really hard to explain that to people. It's like, oh no, it's this. Blah blah blah. Just go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're just sitting there for the first time, and I'd read a lot of plays, but not a lot of film. So the layout of the script was different than what I was used to. All of those things. But I think, we're really lucky because the people that we seem to work with in general are really accommodating and fun and happy, and, everybody wants to joke around and have a good time and get the work done. Yeah. But it makes it less stressful, and you don't feel like such a loser when you screw up a line 7 times and
you get used
horrible.
to it.
I can't read.
Like, oh no, that takes fine, I guess. I guess we'll have to go with that one.
It took me a while to get the art of watching what we're recording and reading at the same time, so that you can kind of see. You watch beforehand before you record, and it took me a few times of recording to really be able to pay attention to what was going on while I was watching it, and then go back to the script and kind of look at both and make sure that my voice sounded like her face looked. It's a big
weird.
task.
It's weird because you're having to sort of fill, you're having to occupy. I mean, to some extent, as an actor, that's what you always do. You're playing a character, you're filling the shoes of someone, but you're so limited in what you can do. When you have flaps, you have to match. And you don't have the luxury of getting to study the script beforehand.
A lot of time you don't know your character.
Yeah.
You just walk in.
And you have to kind of go pretty much hit the ground running. Mm-hmm. That's something that takes a lot of people some time to get used to.
Mm-hmm. I think that's like people like Mike McFarland that do improv. That are really good at improv. I think that really helps because you have the capacity to create your own characters. And
Definitely.
I'd done some improv. I guess maybe that helped me a little bit. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah, because that's definitely in this business. That's a skill set you absolutely have to have is the ability to create a character with very little notice. Because that's what the audition process is. I mean, you go to audition and half the time you don't even know what the audition is for until you go there, and you may have a day's notice if you're lucky, and you show up and you're like, oh, I've got 15 minutes to read through a notebook, what we call audition sides of, like 10 characters that I'm going to choose from, and I got to read all these lines and got to make it, and I've got this amount of time to do it.
I don't know. She sounds good. Yeah.
I had a state actor come in, because normally when you come into audition, you do so in the booth, in front of the microphone. It's much like recording, except there's no animation during the audition process. They're just recording your voice so they can go back and listen to it later and compare and contrast with the other cast members they're thinking about having in. And it's funny there, like, I occasionally get, like, when we did Romeo and Juliet, which was a lot of fun to work on, we decided there were so many roles that were, and the scripts were so Shakespearean in tone that we needed a lot of stage experienced people to come in that were comfortable in that area and comfortable with that language. And so, we had a lot of strong contenders, but we had one guy come in. It was the awkward audition, or could have been. He walked in with the audition side notebook, and he just starts reading in front of us, like you would at a stage audition. And there's about as much space between him as there is between Terri and I now.
That's awesome.
And he was like, okay. And I was like, I really admire your willingness to do this, but really, you don't even have to look at us. You can go inside the booth there and shut the door and just read into the mic, and you'll be fine. And he was like, really? Oh. And it was funny because you could tell it brought down his energy because he was prepared. He had designed his audition in his head around having to deliver it in front of an audience. And now that there wasn't one, or it was like he's going to be in a little room where he can't see us, you could tell that it kind of threw him off his guard a little bit. It was really interesting. But I notice things like that all the time, stage actors that make the transition.
It's definitely different. I mean, it's a completely different animal. And like when I did Daikon Brothers and Mermaid Melody, Pitchy Pitch Pitch, those are both singing. So I felt like a little bit more comfort because I sing, and I've done musicals for such a long time. And that's kind of why I was asked to audition in the first place. It totally, I don't know, I just felt like the character herself was uncomfortable, but then when I would get into the singing parts, I'd feel good about it, and it kind of all meshed together eventually and worked out great, but yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
because
whatever.
she's good, because she's talented, because Chris Ayres is right.
Because Chris Ayres is awesome.
Yes. He's always right. It's just best to agree with him and
she's like, yes, okay. Whatever you say.
So we got about 15 minutes. You want to start taking questions from the audience?
Yeah. You guys got any questions?
You guys have any questions?
Hands raising or walking stage?
Any just random questions you want answered?
Even the most random. Do you want to know what?
Nothing?
Blah, blah, blah.
This gentleman stands up.
All right. Let me see. Do I have enough cord? Hold on. Do I? Yes, I do.
I love your shirt, by the way.
Thank you. When you're doing that combat stuff on stage, do you have any ever accidents where you actually get hit or hurt?
Have I, personally?
That's a good one.
Yeah. We try not to. That's the biggest rule of the whole point of mock combat for cosplay is to prevent accidents and make it as safe as possible. And it has a lot to do with contact with your partner. But, there's going to be a couple accidents. Chris had one where it's generally people that don't listen and don't focus and don't pay attention to what they've been taught. Chris had one guy that lunged too far and hurt a knee. The whole reason he started the combat workshop in the first place was because two cosplayers had done their skit, and it was a brand new convention center that they were in, and one of the guys put a foot through a wall of a brand new convention center. So the convention lost their deposit, which is, thousands of dollars, I'm sure. And, Chris is livid and just thinking, oh my gosh, somebody should teach them how to fight correctly so that, there's more safety precautions in place. And so that's kind of how that all started. But we actually, I bruise really bad. Like I bruise really easily. So anytime that I fall, that'll probably leave a mark. Thanks, Terri Doty.
You're welcome.
Anytime I fall when I'm doing combat, even if it's a controlled fall, if I hit a knee, I'll probably bruise. But if I have a good partner like Chris, who, we've worked together forever, so we know each other really well. But even if I'm working with somebody that's a stranger, as long as I keep with what I know to be safe, accidents generally do not happen. We had one accident when we did Romeo and Juliet, where two actors it wasn't me, but two of our actors lunged forward to do a cross cut, and they missed and they bumped heads. And what it actually had happened was the rubberizing on the bottom of the shoe had failed, so that was a costumer's fault. So if you stick with the program, you'll be all right. But
definitely
just listen. That's my biggest thing. Listen.
That was a good question.
What's your name?
Good question.
Alfredo?
Alfonso. Thank you, Alfonso.
Dude, nice name.
Any other questions? Will,
Nice name.
seriously.
Any other questions? Seriously, random questions? Come on. We can ask you questions. We can turn this on you.
Yeah. Are you guys having fun at the con?
She's back
Anime
there
Overload
now.
2?
It's like little ninja.
Electric Boogaloo? No?
What? No?
No fun. No one's having fun.
No one?
She's having fun. I'm having fun.
You,
my first
you there.
con.
What's your favorite color? No, not you. You. Yes, you.
Is it your first con?
Yes, in the back row. Yes.
Huh?
Pink?
Oh, okay. See? We ask questions. See? It can work both ways. It's like, you. What's your birthday?
You there.
What's your favorite color?
What's yours? Red
Yellow.
and yellow?
Red and yellow.
Red and yellow.
Orange.
If you had to choose between them, if you had to choose a favorite.
Gun to your head.
Red. Okay.
Red. Okay.
My favorite color is purple.
Me too.
I love purple.
Me too.
Oh, well, then now it's green.
Did you say green too?
I love green and purple.
Me too.
Stop it.
Terri Doty, tell him. Tell him I said that on the
She
panel.
said, we were at our rectangular
purple
table
and green.
over there in panel 2.
Weird.
And she was all like, yeah, this is my color. And then things got weird.
But if Tatum had been there,
And
he'd have felt
awkward.
me. He'd understand.
Oh, there's a thing that
right.
says free hugs.
Free hugs.
Oh.
It's me.
Yes.
Hard X. You have a
One
question?
moment. Oh, grab that mic, yeah.
Oh, there's a mic down there.
Yeah, 'cause
awesome.
Fancy.
Oh, is it on? Hello.
Hello?
Hit the...
Hello? Hello, staff man.
You broke it. You broke it. You have to pay for that.
She's so cute.
Okay, that explains.
We
Never
take checks.
mind.
Let's see.
All right, is it not? Ooh, like pick,
So
like
stage
pick our
play or
favorite, like
musical?
stage play.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness.
Nice. That's a good one.
Yeah, because there's like a lot.
A lot of, yeah.
There's one that
Depends.
instantly. I would love to play the title character of Sweeney Todd in that
Yeah.
one because I love that's a
Yeah.
great musical. I haven't seen the movie yet. Some people have said it's good. Some people are like, but I love the original Tony Award winning musical by Stephen Sondheim is amazing. I would love to do that. That's that one jumps in my head instantly.
Yeah.
What about you? Any dream roles you'd love to tackle from this stage?
When I did Cabaret, Monica played Sally Bull. And I would love to do that show. Not that Monica wasn't great. She was awesome. She is Monica Rial after all. And you get to
Can't
see
go wrong
her
with
in
Monica
several
Rial.
stages of undress. And I have pictures of it. But I would love to do that. And pretty much any part in Into the Woods. I don't know if you know. I love that show so much. It's ridiculous. It's so...
What show?
Into the Woods.
Into the Woods.
The Sondheim
Oh my
musical.
God, you would make a great witch. Don't take that the wrong way. But you would make a great witch.
Yeah, I love... Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, or the baker's wife. Or the baker's wife.
Let's do a voice actor version of Into the Woods.
A voice actor version of Into the Woods?
Yeah, like all of us. Just like...
Who would be... Okay.
We're all crazy. We could come up with a dream cast, for sure.
We could.
Yeah.
Who would I be?
The baker?
Cute.
Kyoya's not into the woods. He should be. He would be the stage manager.
You could totally be Jack.
You should just randomly show up and play.
I was Milky White. When I was in Into the Woods, I was Milky... Not even lying. I was Milky White, the cow. First, I was cast
You were the cow.
At first, I was cast as Snow White. And so I was like, well, that's cool. She only comes in at the end, like the very, very end. But look at me. I mean, Snow White... For sure. Like, I'm the palest chick in class. You know, I can put on a wig, throw on a Snow White dress, and I am Snow White. So I was like, well, that's great. Well, then my theater teacher, in her infinite wisdom, decided that she wanted someone to play Jack's cow, Milky White. And I don't think she liked me very much. And that ended up being me. I did not audition to be Milky White. It was not my goal in life to be a cow. But I said, okay, if I'm going to be Milky White, I'm going to be the best Milky White that there ever was. Yeah. So I wore, my costume was a white sweatsuit and horns, which I found hilarious because Milky White's a cow. Cows don't have horns. And I even pointed that out, and she said, oh, yes, but you won't be identified as a cow in your white sweatsuit. Well, what? Okay, and a cowbell. So this is my outfit. And I decided that if I was going to play that cow, that my connection to Jack was going to be the most honest, real, emotional connection. I'm dead serious about this, too. This is like not even a joke.
This is all for a character, by the way, that in the original Broadway production was played by a cardboard cutout.
That was on like rollers, like on a dolly. It was on a dolly. And so I was like, screw her. I don't care. If she wants to make me a cow because she wants to embarrass me, I'm going to make it awesome. So I did, and every single night we would all come out, the cast would all come out, and I would have a huge group of people that would like come out and freak out. Oh my God, Milky Way was my favorite part of the whole show. Yeah, oh my God, you and Jack are so... And I never said anything but moo. It was awesome, and it's like, to this day, it inspires me to like, I don't care if I get a tiny part. I'm going to make the best of that part. And that tiny little part may be the thing that everyone remembers from that show.
I love that. That's a great story.
Woo.
There are no small roles, only small
woo.
actors.
That is true.
Very true.
Yeah.
What about you, Terry? What's your dream stage role?
Dream stage role, Anita in West Side Story.
Oh, yeah.
I was in West Side Story, but they made me take down my boobs and play a dude. Because I was too tall to play a chick. Apparently, there were no 6 feet tall women around that time. Boy. No, but they were like, oh, you'd be so great, but we already picked out Bernardo, and he's about a foot shorter than you. I'm like, this show sucks.
Put him in platforms. It's not my fault he's short.
Tom Cruise me? Fine. God. But, oh, man. Yeah, no, I love theater, but I have a huge love for West Side Story. I just love that musical. Even though it's based off Romeo and Juliet. I do love Romeo and Juliet. There are lots of interpretations of that, but I really love that one. Any other questions? That was a good question. Yes.
Question?
Come over here. Try that mic. And if not, I'll run over there. And then he'll run and fix it again. Oh, is it on?
Try the on button.
Green button. Is it? Okay.
Do you guys meet the original Japanese voice actors for the characters that you dub? And if so, what did they think about dubbing?
Ooh.
I have met Nabashin several times, and he's the writer and director of some really awesome anime, including Nerima Daikon Brothers, and he does voice acting also. And at a con that I was at, Anime Detour, he actually played the ukulele next to me. That was really cool. But he's very complimentary of the American voice actors. He often says that while he can't necessarily understand English as well as he would like, he can tell just by the reactions from the audience that the voice actors did the job that he was intending to do in Japanese. And I think that's the biggest honor that any of us could really ever get, is to have the original creator say, you know, and he's just the best, funniest, most amazing guy I've ever been able to meet. And yeah, it's a real honor to hear that from him.
That's awesome.
So, yeah.
I haven't done much, but what I have done, no, I haven't. But it would be interesting to be like, so. But I don't think that would be how it would go if they were Japanese. Be like, no words, just looks.
They would just stare at each other. Yeah. I love the bullhorn.
Megaphone.
Hi,
He's like,
megaphone.
sorry.
It's okay. Don't be sorry. Be very sorry.
Oh.
We're gonna take you down.
Carly and I kept messing with them during our rectangle panel.
We couldn't hear because we were right over
table.
there.
It's really funny.
And so we were just like, stop talking.
We're like,
hey, megaphone guy.
Or no, we're like,
1, 2, 3.
megaphone guy.
I don't know why we're all falling down a well, but we were. All right, that was a good question. Have you?
I got to meet I haven't gotten to meet a Seiyu yet that I really had a chance to speak with. I mean, occasionally you'll be at the same con with them, but we rarely run in the same circles because our schedules are so crazy. I did, however, there's a film called Vexil, by the same people that made like Appleseed and all this, and the artist who created it is named Sori, and he was actually at the Funimation Studios one afternoon because they were doing there was a film festival going on in Dallas, and they were showing the film along with several others, and so he was going to be there for it, and they gave him a tour of Funimation and said, hey, I thought you'd like to see the place where he dubbed it. And I happened to be working that day, and Mike McFarlane, who directed the dub and who was taking Sori around touring the studios with him, saw that I was in, and I played like the bad guy in it, of course, who wore glasses and wanted to take over the world. What a stretch for me. And
weird.
But it had been out for a while, and I was really excited, to know that Sori was coming. I didn't know he was coming to the studios that day, and so Mike popped in. He was like, "Hey, you got a second? You want to meet Sori?" And I was like, "Really?" And it was fun because he speaks very good English, and he had a little entourage with him, and we just kind of chatted for a while, and it was funny because he was like, "You played Kisaragi, I could tell because you look like him." And he was really funny, and he was just talking about the process and he was very positive about the dubs. He was like, he was very pleased with it. He loved it, and he loved that the show got as much ground over here as it did. So, and I hear kind of the same thing from a lot of actors that have gotten to meet seiyus or artists from Japan. There's a lot of love between the two. There's no contest at all. I mean, not that I've ever seen. It's not like,
no, if there really was, I don't think they would have given it to us to begin with.
No.
What's that?
If they really had a problem with it, I don't think they'd give it to us to begin with.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, but meeting Sori was really, really cool. I kind of bowed to him because it was a real honor to meet the guy. I'm a big fan of his work anyway, and so here I am being very nervous, and I was like, okay, well, I guess it was very nice to meet you. I got to get back to work. And I bowed, and I turned around and ran into a wall in front of him. Like, it was like, thank you, and smack. And then I kind of I turned around, and just to own it, I turned around, I'm like, that's a wall. And then I walked, and they were all like clapping, like I just performed for them. They were like, hey, that was funny, very funny. I'm like, and like Mike is over there going.
Or no, it's probably the Mike McFarlane laugh, yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Oh.
All right.
2 minutes.
Cool.
We can wrap it up.
We're going to wrap it up in less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, we were like, I was like, that wasn't really Steven, but
I'm like, I thought it was like,
is he learning to throw his voice? It's amazing.
it is God.
Oh, boo, get off the line.
Mike.
Well, I'm sorry.
What a bore.
Well, thank you guys
so there you go.
much
We have
for
to wrap
listening.
it up. That's
Thank
the word from
y'all.
God.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming.
Seriously.
Appreciate it.
You guys have been
Again.
great. Very patient, maybe. I don't know.
Anime Show. If
X's
you go
and
to
O's, hearts and
thatanimeShowIsGreat.org, you can download our 21 other podcasts for free.
Thatanimeshow.isgreat.org.
Yes.
Cool.
It's really awesome stuff. It's really funny. Sometimes a little raunchy. Enjoy it. And again,
If you
you've been
guys
awesome.
want
Thank you very much.
these
Let's hear it again
$2.
for Carli Mosier, our lovely
Mosier.
guest.
Thanks, guys. I love you.
Thanks.
Y'all are awesome.
All right.
Thank y'all. You have a dance for us.
There's a dance.
It's a dance. People are dancing.
Right on.
Thank you. Woo! All right.
Very good, very good.
It's more of a shimmy rather than a full-on dance, but I'm not I'm sorry. I'm sorry, woo girl. All right. I said I'm sorry, woo girl.
Woo girl.
She's my woo girl.
That's your name.
Woo!
No.
All right, we gotta
for us
go.
It will be wooly.
But thank you guys for listening. We'll talk to you soon. Autograph panel shortly.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
Later.
Bye.